Quick disclaimer, these videos are meant for educational purposes only. Anything said or shown in any of these videos are personal opinion and my perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, so anything done is your responsibility. Okay, what's going on? Welcome back to the mentfx private mentorship, guys. So I recently released a public video on my YouTube, just going over a very basic, simple triple M system where basically, you look for one thing and then, it was a very profitable session. So today I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go much more in depth and actually discuss it in the realm of all the things that we do here. However, what I will preface by saying is that for this specific video here, so you might have already seen it publicly, but all I did is I lay a foundation, a trade plan, to basically aid some people that might not have had a trade plan in following one. And I'm going to do the same thing for you guys here privately, because I think it's important that you realize that, you can start at a very simple point and then you can extrapolate into a much more deeper and a more in-depth system. But this overall system is as follows. What you're going to be doing and what we're going to be doing today for this test, just to showcase the system, is one, you're going to locate an SSC of sorts that's occurring on a higher time frame, not the time frame you're going to be trading on, but just on a higher time frame contextually. Okay, but what you want to be occurring with this SSC is that price has already come into the zone and either has come into it or has begun to move away from it. That way, there's only one thing that we should be aware of in regards to where price is heading on this higher time frame. Let's assume this is a daily chart. There's only one area we know, and we should be assuming price is heading in this specific context right here, and that is to this high right here. So the anticipation already is that price wants to do this. Very simple. Which means that now on lower time frames, we're going to look for this exact trade plan as shown to you right now. So on any lower time frame that you personally choose, today we'll be using, let's say, the 5 minute. Actually, we'll be using the 1 minute as our lowest just for fun, because I did a 5 minute in the video, so you can check that out. But we're going to be a 1 minute today. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be waiting for a contextually sound market, or just on the 1 minute, what you'll be looking for is you're going to wait for a bullish market to begin. So you're going to wait for something bearish to become bullish. Now it's bullish. So you're going to wait for a bullish market to begin. I don't care how many times it goes bullish. You just wait for a bullish market to start, which means just 1 MB, 2 MBs, 3, 4, 5, doesn't matter. You wait for that to start. And you still are not going to trade a single thing. Now, part of the trade plan, what you're going to look for is you're going to wait for a re-break MB back down. 1, 2, as many as it needs to do. And at that point, you should know, as part of this mentorship, that this is what is referred to as the re-accumulation model. The expectation here is that price wants to go long. It might break down again and then go long. But the expectation is that price really wants to go long. So we're going to be looking to trade only re-accumulation models on our given time frame within a context that's already established off a higher time frame. Okay? And very simply, there's two ways that we can now trade this. One way is we wait for the re-break of this high here, like so, right? And then we start following the new ranges. So like maybe it breaks like that, and then you have MB1, and now you can take a long here with a confirm, in which case we're using a triple M, not anticipatory, not fractal, just a normal triple M with the indicator, right? This one, right? We'll show you in a second. So either that, or the other option is if a higher time frame agrees with some area here, or this same 1 minute time frame begins to build intermediary ranges like so, or maybe it built some intermediary ranges in here, like maybe something like this. You can also take a long here off the same confirm to keep going long and then continue following it as follows. So all we're doing for this trade plan today is we're looking for this to be occurring on some higher time frame that's putting in some kind of clear context so we know where we're heading. And then we're looking for a market to be moving in that direction, and we still won't do anything because I'm going to be teaching you guys today with this trade plan to wait, because all we're waiting for is actually for price to break down. So we don't care. It can go as far as it wants. But then we're going to wait, and price is going to re-break down, make 1 break or 2 or 3 or however many it needs to. And we can either start to follow longs off of intermediary or 2.0s that begin building up off of a higher time frame, or we wait again for the re-break bullish. So maybe it breaks down, MB2, MB3, and then it breaks bullish. At that point, we can now look to go bullish. And it breaks bullish again, we can look to go bullish. Double MB, and then maybe a cluster, but overall, that's what we're going to be looking to trade. Very simple. That's the overall model. And the confirmation of each and every single entry that we might take is only going to be a triple M, which is going to be shown as, so save that image, whatever you got to do, which is going to be shown as these little green and reds on top and the bottom. And we're very simply just going to take stop loss at the low. Maybe we'll account for more, but in this case, maybe for this test, we'll just use the low of the green, and that's it. So today we're going to be doing a random pair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to random pair. What I'm going to be doing, actually what I'll do is, so I'll open this and we'll go to Outlook. So just the community Outlook. I'm not doing this to study the outlooks. I'm just doing this to see more pairs, okay? Just see pairs. I'm going to do random number generator. Hold on, there we go. It's right here. And we're going to do between 1 and 20. And we're going to press go. Here we go. We get 13. So we're going to count 13 down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So EuroCAD is the market we're going to be trading today. Very simple. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to hide everything. Again, not using any back testing tool or whatever, just using TradingView here. We're going to go to the 1 minute because that's the time frame we're going to be looking to trade. EuroCAD, as we just spoke about. EuroCAD, as we just spoke about. There we go. And now we're going to ask ourselves how many times we're going to scroll to the left. Let's see. 14. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then we're going to imagine the page is cut up into 20 bits, and we're going to go to the 5th bit, right? So imagine for a second we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 is here, 5 is here. So we'll start with 5. That's there. And that's it. And we're good. And we'll start right there. Now I'm going to go to a higher time frame instantly because I don't want to see the lower time frame because I'm going to be analyzing off the higher. We're going to start on just the daily and just call it a day. We're not going to go higher than that because I don't want to play price ahead. We're going to draw in our structures and everything, watermark, and we're going to unhide everything. Great. And it looks like we're on forex.com, but again, it doesn't matter what we're on. So taking a look at the daily here, we're going to start left to right and figure out where we are in this market overall. Clearly, market came down very bearish with redistributions, went into an accumulation, started playing out the accumulation, underwent a reaccumulation, right? MB1, 2, 3, 4, reaccumulation, MB1, 2, 3, reaccumulation, MB1, 2. So we're in bullish. We're definitely in bullish territory right now. We haven't really undergone anything that's too representative of a bearish. And we can see that the most recent range we're in is from this low to this high. And the question now is, are we within an SSC? Well, there's this one right here. So yes, we are. We just absorbed price. So everything is showcasing at this point a bullish variant on the daily at least. So it's an absorption. So we're expecting price wants to go to this high, which is great because now we have a bias. We have a higher time frame, as we spoke about, that has some kind of delivery that's showing to us that it wants to deliver to this high, which is this high here. Which means now all we have to do is look for contextual trades and then follow the ranges accordingly. Where we have bullishness, we wait for that, we wait for bearish, and then we start following long, or we wait for a break and then we follow long. That's all we do. So phenomenal. Let's go down to a 4 hour and take a look at where we are. So the 4 hour is already bearish, so there's nothing for us to do on the 4 hour, right? Right now we just assume the 4 hour is likely in a reaccumulation, but there's nothing for us to touch here. Intermediary wise, we definitely broke this just now, making this the intermediary, and this one right here, and this one right here. So like 3 MBs up, definitely clustering or 2.0ing from here. So let's go ahead and label just everything just to make it simple on you guys and for me, why not? So this is a daily S&D of MB1, right? Daily S&D, we're just gonna daily S&D MB1. This is a 4 hour S&D 2.0 because it's no longer an important MB. And there's an MB here, so we might be able to get something in here off of this 4 hour S&D of a intermediary MB3, right? Very simple. Let's get these labels looking good. This is 4 hour S&D 2.0 right here. Move this to the left. We'll do the same thing here, label. 4 hour S&D of an intermediary MB3. Very simple. Okay. So we're happy to trade potentially longs off of any of these. We don't know if price is going to give us anything. We'll jump down to a lower, we'll take a look at a 1 hour. So 1 hour has not broken that high yet. Unluckily, we know it's going to break the high, but that's fine. In this kind of scenario, it's okay. The 1 hour would still be down here. We could refine that a little bit. And because we know it's a 2.0, we actually will refine. So we'll just go like that. And we'll say 4 hour S&D 2.0, refined to 1 hour. To 1 hour, simple as that. Boom, so we know there's a few confluences here for longs. Now this, it's not valid until it takes out this high, sadly, but that's fine, it'll happen. So we're gonna forget that for now. We're just gonna continue analyzing as we would. So we're gonna forget this and say it doesn't exist until this high gets broken, which is fine. But we know this is the next high price wants to take because of the same bullish reasons that we just discussed anyway. So it's all good. So again, be honest with yourself in your testing. If you're not honest with yourself, then you're not gonna get anywhere. 15-minute is clearly in the same range, looking good. Underwent a overall accumulation, as you can see, up and down, up and down, up and down, started going long, breaking MB to the long side, going MB1, 2. So double MB to the top side, looking really good. So we actually have a point down here, which is valid for that as well. So we can highlight that, and we can say this is the 15-minute S&D of MB1. And this also lines up with that same 15-minute. So this is also a 15-minute S&D off an MB2, right? So we'll just keep those in mind. These are all good zones. And here on the lower time frame, we can see that, you know, we are creating some kind of breaks in an intermediary fashion, right? So we have this break here, MB1, MB2, intermediary. So you have that coming from right here and right here, which is getting mitigated right now. So this is a nice high to follow through on. And this is again the 15-minute S&D of an intermediary MB2. And similarly, you have a 15-minute S&D of an MB of an intermediary MB1. Okay. So we're just specifying everything as is, and we know our 1 minute is the trading is the trading area we're looking for trades for. So again, let's ask ourselves if we're within the model we're looking for. And the model very simply is bullish, shifts bearish, and then we can follow bullish or wait for a reshift to go bullish. So left to right, we had bullish that shifted bearish, that did give us the bullishness, right? So now we have again bullish, which we could have followed, which has already occurred. We had the beautiful trades here and here. Okay, so we have MB1, MB2, MB3, doesn't matter how many MBs now because we know it just reshifted bearish. Fantastic. So we know it's undergoing what we would call reaccumulation. So it shifts bearish. Okay. Shifts bearish, rebreaks bullish. So that's an MB1. So very simply, that MB1 is coming directly from right here as the unmitigated portion. We could include this just because it makes sense, because this tapped into it as well, and you could argue this was a point and that tapped in. So we're going to leave this as the overall, you know, S&D, 1 minute S&D of MB1, right? Super simple. So the expectation is that basically price comes here and gives us a green triple M, right? One of these green guys. We will look to go bullish, and we will look to take a trade. Simple as that. And then we can use these as a confluence later if price wants to give us something there. But right now, everything is holding as per what we expect. And very simply, the model is being met, right? Bullish into bearish. We're expecting bullishness. It already made the bullish break. There it is. We can look to go bullish off of here or potential intermediary. Right now, there's nothing intermediary, so we're just waiting for this zone or something else to present itself. And again, it's beautiful because we don't have to worry about anything. We don't have to force anything. There's no need to, right? We have specific things that we're waiting for now. So it's as easy as just waiting. That's it. Let's go. So price taps in as anticipated, looking for a green. That's it. Looking for a triple M. That's all. Now this zone is quite large, and taking along here looks like it can, you know, it can play around here for a while. So you have two options here. One is not take this and wait. This is more discretionary. It's up to you. Number two is wait for a 2.0 build up. Number three is take it with a bigger stop. In my case here, I'm going to wait for an S&D 2.0 build up or an intermediary, right? For me personally, this zone is quite large. I can see this taking us out multiple times, so I will wait personally, which is just my preference, and that's fine. Preference is, you know, discretionary. So now what we're getting is we're getting intermediary or fractal breaks here. All right, we get a fractal break. Price comes down to the 2.0 that created that fractal right here, right? Taps in, liquidates, and makes it a triple M. So at this point, I'm actually okay with this trade, more so because now we've made our invalidation point a lot smaller, right? So in this case, I'll be happy to take a long off of the triple M here. Stop will go just below the low, and we'll make it a little bigger to 1.5, just like that. And we're good to go. Looking for a way to break even on this. And then we'll go ahead and draw a SL line, just like that. And we'll save this as SL. Cool. See if we can get broken even on this trade now. There it is. Looking for a burst now to go break even. That's it. All right, sure. So we'll move accordingly to this burst. Simple as that. Okay. And again, we're just following the bursts. Okay. Moving with every single burst. That's it. Good to move. Happy to move here. Still good. I will keep it. Fantastic. Move it with the burst. And we're out. So we're out on this candle's low. There we go. And that's our first trade. All right. 3.6% gain on our account. Just trailing as well in this system. So now we can take a look and say, does everything still make sense to be traded? Let's take a look. It was in that reaccumulation model. It broke MB1, pulled back, broke MB2. Still very valid. MB2. So again, we can have our S&D, the unmitigated portion of that move, just like that. That's the 1 minute of the S&D 2.0, and it's also a 1 minute S&D MB2. So a few things going together here, very nice, good confluence. If price comes down there, very happy to take it. Okay. Breaks bullish, coming from basically somewhere in here, off of the intermediary, right? So what is this? This is just a 1 minute S&D of an intermediary. What would that be? You could call it a 1-2 of an MB3 slash cluster, right? Because it's mitigating the prior zone or coming just under it and absorbing it. So because it absorbed it, we can anticipate that a trade from here makes a lot of sense. So we're going to look for the same kind of trade. Let's see if we can get into another buy. So it gives us a triple M. And again, you have the same opportunity as here. But due to the fact that this is moving very bullish, the refinement of this overall zone could actually be argued to be right here, right? So for me personally, I think this trade actually makes a lot of sense, and I'll take the long as is. I'm willing to take the risk on this. Make it just under the low again, just like that. And we're looking to take that long. And again, we have our SL. See what we can get here. Looking for a burst. Okay, fantastic. SL will move to break even. So in this case, we're just looking for a burst to keep moving this. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Nope. Just looking for a burst now. Okay, sure. That is a burst. We'll move to the low of the burst, just like that. Nothing, nothing. It's a nice little burst. Move to the low of the burst. Okay. Nice burst. Moves to the low of the burst. Still good. We'll hold this. Okay, very nice. Good burst. Moves to the low of the burst. Good burst. Moves to the low of the burst. And this is what happens. This is what happens when you follow rules, guys. Rules are a man's best friend. Rules are a trader's best friend. All right, and we stopped out at that low right there. Fantastic. Okay, so let's take another look. We are clearly hitting that high as we spoke about. So if you guys remember, we knew it was going to hit that high. Again, I didn't take the trades based on the fact that I thought it was going to hit this high. I took the trades based on the rules of bullish and delivering bullish, gave us the reaccumulation. Now we're following it bullish, and we followed the intermediaries or the 2.0s or the context of the bullish side, and as a result, this is what we get. And now we know that this was the 4-hour break. So what we can do is we can, if we remember where it was, I think it was like somewhere here. So we're just going to keep that in mind, right? So as price begins to come back there, these 15-minute no longer matter. I don't think they do. So at this point, we can re-step back up. Let's take a look at where we are, just to double check. So 15-minute intermediary 1, 2, 3. This did not mitigate, if you remember. So none of these matter anymore. It's making multiple MBs, not really important to me. MB3, so not going to follow the S&D of that. This is clearing the high, which is making a new MB. Now we can ask ourselves, right? We had the 15-minute S&D MB2, so this is MB3 now. So, you know, we could follow something, but I wouldn't follow anything yet. I'd wait for something that's more clear, right? Maybe on the 1 minute we get something clearer. So on the 1 minute is the only place I'll watch for something, and in this case, what we can watch for, right? Because the 15-minute, all these time frames don't make sense, is we can look for the same model we speak about. Can wait for bullish, that goes bearish, follow bullish, which can happen here. So let's see if we can get that. And does it still make sense to reaccumulate? So, you know, it started a overall accumulation, underwent the accumulation, started going bullish, reaccumulation model, bullish, reaccumulation model, bullish. We can easily reaccumulate again in my mind. So if we get another reaccumulation, we'll take it. So we get a breakdown. Great. Exactly what we were expecting. We're breaking down now. So as we spoke about, we can start following inside price action to go long here, or we can find something on a higher time frame, or we can wait for the re-break to start going long. So in this case, what we'll do is we'll take a look at the 50 minutes, see if we got something here. The area that it would make sense to come after is likely here. And as we know, this was the 4-hour break. So hopefully the 4-hour doesn't ruin us now. Okay, so this was the 4-hour intermediary break, right? So now we can actually draw in this 4-hour, which is this guy right here. which we can make the entire zone. And that's that 4 hour MB1, 2, 3, 4 hour intermediary. 4 hour intermediary. So this is the 4 hour intermediary, 4 hour S&D of the intermediary MB3. So we might be able to follow that. And we also know it's a 15-minute MB3. So maybe there'll be something there. We'll just keep that in mind as we're on this 1 minute, because we know that this reaccumulation could happen from this exact area right here. Right, let me go a little higher here and draw this in. Beautiful. Oh no, we lost it. Shit. Welp. Nonetheless, it is what it is. Probably would have been a loss or two in there. We can take a look and see if we would have taken a loss. So again, this is the importance of being fair with yourself. We're going to go ahead and take a look if there would have been a loss that we could have taken here to see if we can be fair with ourselves. But you can see actually, so on this 1 minute, as we spoke about, price begins to break bearish and undergoes multiple bearish breaks, right? This is not what is normally considered a reaccumulation. Reaccumulation could be MB1, 2, maybe 3 max, and then it starts to go long again. Here, we're at MB1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we actually make 7 MBs down. So there's no reason for us to force longs here. And if anything, we can assume either distribution has occurred or redistribution might occur now, right? So price rebreaks bearish on 8 MBs from the area we actually do suspect to go long from, and then breaks bullish MB1, okay? So it breaks bullish MB1, MB2, so double MB break bullish with an overall what you could expect as redistribution. I still would say that you'd probably be looking to take a trade. So you have MB1, MB2 in accordance with that. Let's go back to this point here and see if there would have been trades that we could have taken. So these are areas that you probably look for a potential long. Price comes under, and you would likely have taken a long inside of this trade for sure. So this would be your long as follows. You get a burst plus another move, which means that this trade would easily be a stop loss at break even. So this is an easy break even that you would have taken right there. So we're just going to mark this out to be fair with ourselves because it's important. Then price comes under and gives another one. Would not have traded it at the same level, kind of playing back and forth. Not so good for me. So I'd be waiting. And the 2.0 of this trade would be in here, right? Or maybe in this wick. So maybe it's an okay trade. So either way, even if you took this, you can see it's either partials. Actually, it looks like a profitable trade. So we're going to skip this one because I probably would be unsure about it. But then we get another intermediary break here. And that comes from this point right here, which actually does give you a setup, right here. And you would have probably did it at 1 point. This is good enough. And you would have taken a loss on that instantly. So there's a losing trade right there. Very good. Price plays around, taps into this area as we expected, gives you a bullish triple M. So you probably would have taken a long on this one as well, right? Again, just if you're honest with yourself, that is how you're going to find profitability. So another SL hit and a -1 right there. All good. This is part of the game. And from there, you would probably understand this is now in full distribution, right? Because it went distribution into multiple MBs down, into break up, which is likely going to be redistribution. You traded it because it was from your higher time frame area where you suppose there could be trades. Didn't happen, kept going through, and there's nothing else to look for here. And then you'd be waiting for a new bullish trend to start or to come into a higher time frame. But right now there's nothing, right? You get an MB1 to the top side, so it's starting to be bullish. Rebreaks down, could be reaccumulation, but it's already lower than previous MBs. So this is now, it's likely to continue distributing down. But as it's doing that, notice how it's coming into the zone that we have down here on this 1 minute, right? It's went bullish, bearish, 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 bullish, bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish, bearish. What is that indicative of? That's indicative of a full-on accumulation. So if we can accumulate and tap into here and start going long, well, we know that as it starts going long, we're going to wait for our breakdown and follow the reaccumulations long. Simple as that. This area no longer matters. And once again, we can follow this accordingly because that higher time frame is still delivering as true. Okay. So let's see if we can, okay, so we do come in there and do we make an MB1? We do. So great, we have an MB1 now, but now we know we need to see bullishness that then becomes bearish and then we can trade bullish. So let's wait for that. This is the power of waiting for your system. And again, notice how as price goes in my direction, I'm happy it's going in my direction because it's validating the overall model I'm looking for. So the more it goes in my direction now, even if it blows up, that's good for me because that means now I can wait for the reaccumulation to go long. So that's what I'm waiting for. Right now it's just bullish, bullish, bullish. I'm waiting for a bearish break. Beautiful. So we get a bearish break. Now let's ask ourselves where we are. This actually might have been a trade. We're going to double check. So stay tuned, boys. So we have MB1, MB2, okay? So of course that's coming from here. That hasn't been mitigated, right? And then it's making the reaccumulation model, but it hasn't tapped in yet. So if price comes and taps into this, so this is the 1 minute S&D of an MB1, so it's still valid. If price does tap in here, we can go long. But we also get is we get a push down that absorbs the lows here and here of this second MB, which is what we're looking for, right? Absorbs it and pushes away. And that's coming directly from this guy here, which we're going to include this wick right here too, because that's a nice little down push. So this is an area where I'm actually also willing to go long. So 1 minute S&D. So this is actually a label. This is a 1 minute S&D of an intermediary MB1. Very simple. It's the MB1 right here. This is it. You know, our next target is here. So we actually don't care about prices not giving us an entry here because we want it to go and take this out because that's going to make our reaccumulation model true. And then we can follow those to go long again, right? So we actually want it to keep going long, which means that we want to miss this trade because it's going to make our actual trade more powerful. But that said, model is still being met. So we want to be potentially positioned on this. So we're getting ready for that. Let's see what we get. So we tap in, see if we can get a triple M here. Nothing. Nothing. So then we make a 2.0 off of that. So this becomes a, we'll go like this. This becomes a 1 minute S&D that's a 2.0. That's it. Okay, see if we can tap into there now. We break the MB2 very simply. MB1, MB2, we're actually making an MB3. I don't see anything here. I'm just going to wait. So this breaks for an MB3, but I still like these points, so this is the points I'll wait for. Otherwise, I'm looking for a break, of course, of this high to make a new MB, which we can then use to go long, because that's the model we're looking for. Okay, so we do tap back in, looking for a triple M now. Simple as that. Tapping in beautifully, absorbing the range here and the 1 minute, and now if we get a triple M, it'll be pretty clear for a long. Still liking it. Yep, looking good. Tapping into the 1 minute S&D. That should be a triple M, isn't it? Is it not? So this no longer matters. This is kind of not important. It could be absorbing it. So there we go. The triple M updated. Now we're tapping into this and it's quite large. However, due to the overall context, I'm willing to take the risk on this and maybe another risk on this. So I'm willing to take potentially 2-3 losses and then I'll stop. That's what I would look for due to the fact that the context of this market is very clear. We'll drop it right under it and we're going to look for that trade. And we're going to draw out our stop loss that we can move accordingly if we get a burst. Let's see what we get. So we're still in this trade, it looks like. Okay, good. We get stopped out. That makes it easy. So -1, still willing to get in if we get another breakup. Let's see what we get. Beautiful triple M. Look to enter off that triple M. It'll update to the green in a second. I don't know why it's not updating, but this is the trade we'll take. It's already more than enough pips, so we're happy to take 3.4. There we go. And we'll look to take that long. Again, we have an SL here. So that's one SL. So we're willing to take 2 more of these in this area because, again, the context is pretty clear for a long. See if we can get that. Good burst, not moved to break even yet. Good burst, now we can move to break even. So stop gets moved to break even. Won't get moved with the burst yet. Looking for a big burst. Okay, get stopped out of break even. All good. And now, so we have a -1 to break even. So we're good to go for 2 more losses if we want to. This no longer matters. This is breaking higher, making this a 2.0, which we're just tapping into, and this is a 2.0 as well. So we might get a trade from here. That'll be pretty clear. Let's see if we can get a triple M. Simple as that. Beautiful. Tap in. Do we get a move up now? Absorption plus tap up. Nope, just comes right down through it. No longer going to focus on buys. Instead, we're going to re-wait now for the thing that we've been talking about, which is bullishness followed by reaccumulation model to go long. Because again, we want to be in the most probable kind of circumstances to take longs. So right now, there's nothing to do. This price is just going to fuck around for a while. We're going to wait for bullish context. That's all we're going to do. Right, so now it's in still full distribution mode. This ended up being a redistribution, which is fine. It's part of the game. And now it's still redistributing. But the more it goes back and forth, the more accumulation we can anticipate is happening on the 1 minute. It's as simple as that. So we're just going to wait now, see what we get. So you get a break bullish. That's an MB1, MB2. Now we're waiting for a breakdown because, again, remember, we don't care how far up it goes now. Now it's proving to us that a bullish market's put in motion. Wait for a breakdown. There's a breakdown. A 5 minute might present a good opportunity here, but we're just going to wait on this time frame because we know we're undergoing likely reaccumulation, right? Multiple MBs up, reaccumulation could go down a few times, and then we're looking for bullishness. And we're coming from the S&D that we were speaking of. Let's see what we get. So we get an intermediary MB1. Doesn't really come from anywhere super clean. If anything, it comes from right here, which just got tapped, right? Boom, just got tapped. So honestly, it's not terrible. but it's the very first one that's happened. I mean, yeah, that's actually not bad. I like this trade. I'm willing to take an entry on this, and it's only, you know, it's, if this is wrong, we're wrong only once, guaranteed. We're not taking multiple losses here, so we'll take it. So, you know, even though price can give us a better entry now, we're going to take it at the proper entry price that we would have taken it at. Stop loss is below the low, simple as that. And let's see if we can get a burst out of this trade. Cool. We'll move our stop loss to break even. Looking for a burst to continue now. Nope. Take another break even. Fantastic. Another break even there, and we'll get back to it. So now we're making an MB2 down, which is great. Still part of the reaccumulation. See if we can get another buy up now. So on this time frame, at least, we've created an S&D 2.0 right here, right off of the area. So we can get a long from here for sure. Otherwise, we're fine with it coming to make an MB1, right? Because again, it's the same thing on repeat. If it breaks this, then we know that the reaccumulation is likely true and we can follow it up. So again, we don't care if price doesn't tap into our areas. We actually prefer it to keep going first. But in this case, it doesn't look like it's going to do that. Makes a beautiful triple M. I'm going to take a long off of the close of that. 1.5. So I'm going to make this about 1.5 pips. Just accounting for commissions and spread. And that's what I'd normally take. So if this closed up here, it'd be better. And then we could take the stop down under the low. But in this case, 1.5 is what we're going for. Looking for a burst now. Let's move our SL to the low. Looking for a burst. Simple as that. Not a burst yet. That's a beautiful burst. SL will go directly below that. Don't even have to move the break even. Just simply below that. And instantly get stopped out. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now we've also made an MB1. So we can follow longs. Right? Simple as that. Follow this, follow this. This is where it's coming from. So triple M right now would be very clean. This no longer matters. Yeah, looking good. See if we can get a triple M here. Okay, we got a double MB. Fantastic. Means that we can trade from here. And now it's clustering as well. Pretty bullish representation of price. Let's hopefully get a triple M here and we can take it long. Comes right through it. Makes the... Oh, it's still coming from here. Okay, so we're good. So it's still coming from that same area. So we're absorbing this one right now. This one no longer. This one doesn't actually matter. I'm not going to refine to anything here. So we're assuming absorption right now. If we get a triple M, we'll instantly take it. Otherwise, we're going to wait for it to break down, and then we'll recalibrate for another reaccumulation. Yep. So another MB1 down. What is that representative of, right? We're going kind of back and forth now. So if anything, this is now representative of a good accumulation. So we wait for a re-break up now. Nothing else to do. We can just wait, right? This is in distribution now. Now it's an accumulation. Now we want to see a reaccumulation. So again, who cares if it goes long? The more it goes long, the better. It does break down and reaccumulates instantly. And that's coming directly from right here. Okay. Nothing more to do. Let's play. Taps in, looking for a triple M. It's as simple as that. Really ugly price. You know, you probably wouldn't be touching this. Not bad. You get a triple M off of this. I mean, this is a rough price. So from discretion, I'm going to stay away from this and wait. That's it. Discretion-based trading. Overall accumulation, likely. Breaks the high. MB1. Let's let it accumulate now and start going long and then look for reaccumulation. So again, discretionarily, we can stay out and we can wait for specific scenarios where we're going to want to trade as traders. And look at that, discretionarily making the choice to stay out. And I think this might be rollover too, but that's why it's so ugly. So good thing we stayed out too, because you wouldn't be trading this normally as well. All right, now we just wait for bullish ranges to be put in again. It's as simple as that. Nothing to do here. There's no reason to force shit here, right? Very easy. So we have a little bit going on here though. We know this is likely undergoing full-on accumulation. So that's one thing that's really good. Then we have an actual clear burst up that then begins to go long. And this was actually a good opportunity, but I missed it. That's fine. 2.0 built off here. A good long can happen here, or we might get an MB here to start taking out highs. Let's see what we can do here. So we do get that MB. That's coming directly from actually this point right here. So we'll wait for a move back down into there if we want to take a long. Otherwise, we want it to break higher. Again, it goes away from our entries, but we want it to break higher because it's going to be put in accumulation for us, right? That's really good. See if it wants to break the high now. So we do get these intermediary breaks right here, right? These are all intermediary breaks, and those are coming directly from here. So now if we get a triple M, I actually will look to take it. Right? Simple as that. See if we get a triple M. There we go. We get a triple M. We should have entered on this candle, so we're going to be fair and enter on that candle with a 1.5 because that's also something that we've said. And this is still not moved to break even, so the trade is still as is. Nothing has changed. Okay, looking for a burst now. That's a burst, but not enough. I'm going to look for another. Okay, beautiful. Does that finish like that? It does. So we move it to the low of that. Fantastic. Fantastic. And we're anticipating the continuation now to start the accumulation, the initial accumulation. Looking good still. Looking for a burst. This is not bursty enough. Still waiting. Yep, that stops us out. Good stuff. Out of that trade. And now we get an MB1. So, I mean, this is an MB2, I think, right? So we have MB1, MB2, but we haven't started a reaccumulation yet. Well, oh no, actually we have, right? So we know we're overall in accumulation, and then we started this bullish push, and we made MB1, MB2, and then we broke MB1. We waited. We should have traded here, but we didn't. We missed that. It's fine. And we just made MB2. So if anything, yeah, everything's showing bullishness right now. And this is a 2.0 and a cluster. So if we get a trade from here, happy to take it. Breaks intermediary, creates a zone. I'm going to use this one. Clearest to me. Taps in. Hopefully we absorb it beautifully and create a triple M now. Absorption and triple M. Beautiful. That makes a triple M. We'll long on that triple M just like that. There should be a triple M. I don't know why the indicator is not updating, but that's fine. It's probably because we're in replay mode. So we'll wait for that to update while we set this up. So stop. Goes 1.5 pips. Super simple. There it is. It updated now. And let's get our SL line out. SL. And let's manage. Let's look for bursts. Not bursts yet. Nope. Nothing. All right. Beautiful. So we take the loss. This should be an instant entry again. Absorbs the exact point we expect. So this is the loss, but this, I mean, be honest with yourself, but as we did prior, this is 100% an entry. We have double MB up, cluster, absorbs the cluster and gives you a perfect entry off that. Stick it under the low, make it 1.5 pips. First initial candle moves it to break even. This is 100% a trade that would have been taken with the current rule set that we're utilizing. So nothing wrong with this. This is correct. Good burst, looking for a bigger one. We'll wait for the burst. Yeah, so probably should have moved with this burst. This was a great burst, but we skipped it, so it's fine. Price comes back in, makes it off of that 2.0. Still valid. Beautiful long off of this. So this is a break even, but this is, again, a trade that you take 100%. 1.5 pips. Again, honesty with yourself. It's the only way you're going to make money. Clear burst. Stop loss gets moved to break even accordingly. Okay, beautiful burst. Beautiful stop out. Back into the 2.0. Absorbing the 2.0. Hopefully we get another triple M now. No triple M's. Breaks off, makes another 2.0. See if we can get down there again. Nothing. This is a... No, it didn't break it. Okay, we're good. Good to go. So now we just broke this and we created a triple M off of this, right? So this is now an intermediary MB1, 2, or just an MB1. I think it's an intermediary MB1 plus the confluence of orders, you know, holding this up off the double MB plus a little bit of space to move. Happy to take this entry with a 1.5 pip stop. Let's go ahead and take that. Looking for a burst now. It's an easy burst. Stop loss gets moved to break even. Easy burst. Move it accordingly. No, we don't. Not a burst. Keep it there. Good burst. Not moving, I guess. Okay, good burst. We'll move it to the low of this one to account for this being the burst. Still good. Looking for a burst up now. Good burst right here. Good burst right here. We'll protect with the huge burst. Very good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, accumulation still occurring. That's a MB3 now after a reaccumulation that we spoke about right here. So everything's still holding bullish. Let's play this out until it finishes, basically, or until it invalidates, and then we'll stop. So basically, this MB3 comes from this low, as we can see. This is an S&D of it, but so is this guy right here. These are the only points I'll consider trading. At MB4, I canceled this trade. Okay, MB4 and the trade's canceled. So there you go. You know, just a little bit of testing. Let's see how many days we just tested. And again, we didn't even trade every single day. So this was about 21 hours of trading if we traded all of them. So 21 hours. And let's take a look at what is actually possible for you on an assumption of a $2 million Ment funding account. 2 mil at 0.5% risk, not even 1%, to be fair about the fact that we have drawdown there. Okay. So the first trade amounts to 3.6 RR. It's 3.6. The next trade was a complete banger at 7.88 RR. Right? Yeah. 7.88. Next trade ended up being a break even, so we won't do anything there. This one ended up being a loss, so -1. This one ended up being a loss, -1 again. Didn't work. There we go, -1, 9.48. Took a -1 to break even, so another -1 right there. Very good. Beautiful. Took a break even and then took a plus 0.67. So we got plus 0.67, followed by this reaccumulation model where we missed this trade, which would have been an absolute banger. This would have been a fucking goober. So again, if you're honest with yourself, go ahead and record it. I would be honest with myself and record this, but if you're you, maybe you're not. Nonetheless, this would be a follow the burst, follow the burst. Yeah, this would have been a 6 RR gain, which would be insane, but we're gonna just keep it fully honest. You know, I would have taken this, but I'm not gonna do that here to you guys, so I'm just gonna leave it at the ones that we actually put on. This one was a plus 1.6. This one was a -1. This one was a break even. This one was a plus 0.73. This one was a plus 3.27. Okay, so again, for about 24 hours of work, so let's write this out now. So 24 hours of work, we have a 13.75 RR gain. Oops, 24 hours of work, 13.75 RR gain, assuming 2 mil ment funding account at 0.5% risk per RR equals, let's find the risk of that. That would be 2 million times 2 million times 0.005. That's 0.5%. So $10,000 per trade equals $10,000 per RR. 13.75 RR gain in 24 hours equals this times the 13.75, of course. So around an accumulation of around $137,500 at assumption of 0.5% risk, not even 1%. Again, a representation of what is possible if you, 1, study your system, 2, understand your system fully, experience and test your system, get used to it, and then follow the blatant rules of that system. Most of the time that you trade is going to be small gains, small losses, small break-evens, losses, and sometimes you're going to get the bangers. Sometimes you're going to get the bangers. So this is actually the gain without incorporating this trade, which would have been a full-on trade that's fully valid. I just missed it, and I didn't want to be completely bullshitting you because by the time we missed it, it was already here, and I'm not going to bullshit you on it. But this is a great trade as well. Nonetheless, that's assuming we didn't take that. Small break-evens, small losses, small break-evens, small losses, small break-evens are profits, and 2 big profits. And that's how money is made. You repeat the same thing over and over again, and you're going to get the bangers, the runners, the crazy trades. That's how it happens. You can't just do it every single day. And again, 24 hours of work. So yes, you're not going to necessarily be trading the full 24 hours of this, but it's a representation of what happens if you have a model, you know what model you're following. You start at a very simple place today. All we did is higher time frame SSC, follow lower time frame what? Reaccumulation models on a repeat. That's all we did. And you follow them and you follow specific rules, you can do a lot for yourself. So again, not a full representation of a guarantee of any sort, but a representation of what can be done given that you're performing at this level at just a 0.5% risk per RR on a $2 million account. And this is how you have 6-figure days. It's how it's done. Thanks, guys.